Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. The Warriors are slow in free agency, but at any moment they could announce two major additions. They are veteran players, but they will be crucial to the rotation. The Warriors want to sign Al Horford and De'Anthony Melton. The Golden State Warriors are the only team not to add a player in free agency. Fans have been urged not to panic. Free agency has been a slow-moving affair for the Golden State Warriors, who lost long-term center Kevin Looney, and are yet to sign a single player. Meanwhile, teams around them in the conference have got stronger, including the team they beat in the playoffs, the Houston Rockets, who strengthened with a trade for former Warriors star Kevin Durant. The Rockets also added Clint Capella and Dorian Finney-Smith in free agency, while the LA Lakers signed DeAndre Ayton to address their center issues. The Warriors are yet to show their hand, while the pool of potential free agents has shrunk since July 1. ESPN insider Brian Windhorst says Warriors fans should not worry, and named two additions he views as likely. Golden Warriors tipped to sign Al Horford and De'Anthony Melton. Speaking to ESPN's First Take, Brian Windhorst issued a reminder that the Warriors made a huge move to their roster at the mid-season trade deadline, acquiring Jimmy Butler. Windhorst says he is confident that the Warriors will soon make moves, naming Al Horford and De'Anthony Melton as the players he expects to join the team as free agents. He adds that there is also the possibility of incomings via a trade, dependent on the Jonathan Kuminga situation. He said, "I expect them to make a couple of signings in the near future. I expect them to sign Al Horford. I see them as a strong candidate to sign De'Anthony Melton, who would be adding depth to their wing. And they have the number one restricted free agent on the market, Jonathan Kuminga. They are going to do something with it. They are either going to re-sign him or sign and trade him for something. The Warriors are going to be doing things between now and when the season starts." Al Horford's contract with the Boston Celtics has expired and he has been heavily linked to Golden State. Steve Kerr is a big admirer of Horford, a player who fits the Warriors' timeline, and they have been urged to go all out to sign the future Hall of Famer. Melton was on the Warriors last year, but was traded away after he suffered a torn ACL. He is expected to be fit for the start of the coming season. Jonathan Kuminga's situation could drag on. The Warriors were warned ahead of free agency that the Jonathan Kuminga dilemma could hang over their summer. Windhorst has warned that there may not be an imminent solution in sight. He said, "The Kuminga situation may not resolve itself for a while, but they are going to benefit from that. Either getting assets back for him or keeping him. Do not stress about the Warriors." The Sacramento Kings are the team most heavily linked with Kuminga, but no agreement has been found, and the stalemate continues. Warriors predicted to finally sign stretch 5 of their dreams in free agency. The Golden State Warriors free agency rumors have been a lot of empty predictions so far. The Warriors have yet to make one free agency signing. They are particularly desperate to sign a new center. Ricky O'Donnell of SB Nation made his NBA free agency predictions for 12 best available players on 2025 market. The Warriors finally signing Al Horford was one of his top predictions. Al Horford prediction, Golden State Warriors. Predicted contract, 1 year, $5.1 million. The Warriors are the only team to do nothing so far in free agency as they wait on Kuminga's RFA status to play out. Golden State desperately needs another big after losing Kevin Looney in free agency, and Horford is the ideal target. Horford is a quick decision-maker who has turned into a high-volume three-point shooter in his golden years while still being mobile enough to compete defensively. That sounds like a perfect match for Steve Kerr's system. The Warriors already have 3 veteran stars in Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler, and Horford is an ideal complement to that trio if Golden State can convince him to play one more year before retirement. While Horford may have been the Warriors' perfect free agent fit a few years ago, he still can help them win. Horford averaged 9 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 2.1 assists for the Boston Celtics last season. He also shot 36.3% from 3. While he isn't playing like the multi-time All-Star he used to be, he will still be a perfect fit for the Warriors. Dub Nation should hope that this Warriors Al Horford prediction comes true. Steph Curry gives Al Horford ultimate endorsement, hints at Warriors signing him. In a tantalizing hint at a potential blockbuster move, Golden State Warriors superstar Steph Curry has thrown his weight behind the idea of Al Horford joining the team. During a recent interview, when asked about the possibility of the veteran Boston Celtics center signing with the Warriors, Curry responded with measured excitement, "He's a champion, great player. When all that stuff happens, I'll talk about it." The slip from if to when has sent Warriors fans into a frenzy, igniting speculation that a deal could be in the works. The timing couldn't be more intriguing. Reports have consistently linked Horford, a five-time All-Star and NBA champion, to Golden State as a top free agent target. At 39, Horford remains a savvy, skilled big man whose experience and championship pedigree could complement Curry's dynamic playstyle, addressing the team's long-standing need for an offensive-minded center. His potential arrival would also provide mentorship to the Warriors' younger players, a move that aligns with the franchise's history of integrating aging veterans like Jimmy Butler to great effect. The Warriors, coming off a second-round playoff exit to Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves, could use Horford's veteran presence to catapult them to further playoff runs. His ability to stretch the floor, coupled with his knack for making the right plays, can complement Draymond Green and the rest of the team's style of play very effectively. Curry's endorsement, coupled with front office interest, suggests the Warriors are serious about bolstering their roster for another title run. If Horford dons the Warriors' blue and gold, it could mark the beginning of an exciting new chapter for the dynasty. A reunion with DeAnthony Melton makes perfect sense for the Warriors. And it seems he agrees. In case you missed it, last week the Golden State Warriors were linked to free agent combo guard DeAnthony Melton, who was last employed by the Brooklyn Nets, but who last played for the Warriors. Mark Stein and Jake Fisher called the Dubs a strong contender to sign Melton, while internet sleuths found that Melton had started following the Warriors on his Instagram account. When the offseason began, I felt that there was only one question regarding the Warriors and Melton: would the 27-year-old be willing to return to the team that had salary dumped him in the middle of an injury? Nothing that the Warriors did was immoral, problematic, or even at all slimy. Melton, signed to a one-year contract, was out for the season after tearing his ACL, and the Dubs were in desperate need of help. They flipped him, Reese Beekman, and a trio of second-round picks to the Brooklyn Nets for Dennis Schroeder and a second-round pick, then later used Schroeder's contract as part of the deal for Jimmy Butler III. Melton, meanwhile, spent the year rehabbing and preparing for the 2025-26 season. Even though it wasn't dirty, it's a move that often leaves a sour taste in a player's mouth. Being salary dumped is never fun, even when you know your season is over. Some players, though, are a little better at separating the business aspect of the sport from their feeling of being slighted, and it appears that Melton is one of those players. It seems clear that he holds no ill will, and is open to a reunion, which means there's a new question to consider. Can they do whatever is necessary to sign him? Because the Dubs should do whatever they have to in the pursuit of convincing Melton to re-sign with them. He only played 6 games with the Warriors before suffering his injury, but those 6, especially the last few, were more than enough to show how perfect and seamless the fit was. His defensive chops and excellent basketball IQ made him a flawless fit alongside Steph Curry, while his playmaking and creativity allowed him to run the second unit. He was tough, selfless, clearly respected by Curry and Draymond Green, and needed no time figuring out Steve Kerr's systems on both offense and defense. His shooting was vital. Butler's arrival solved some of the issues brought upon the Warriors by being so reliant on Curry, but the need for help remains, especially in the event of another Curry injury. We're all excited about Brandon Podziemski's third season, but his skill set is not one that the team should rely on to steady the ship and run the offense. They need a high-quality veteran guard, be it a true point guard or a steady and stable combo guard. Melton makes too much sense. Mike Dunleavy Jr. and Kerr thought Melton was a perfect fit last offseason, and after a training camp and 6 games, they were proven correct. Which means, with the position as much of a question mark now as it was then, that Melton is still a perfect fit. The Warriors need to make it happen. Warriors have bold plan for Jonathan Kuminga's future. The NBA offseason has quieted down quite a bit since the first wave of free agency has come and gone. As for the Golden State Warriors, they have been very quiet so far. One of the best players still available is restricted free agent wing Jonathan Kuminga. There have been other teams outside of the Warriors with interest in him, but no one has made an offer to try and steal him away. Golden State has been open to the idea of retaining Kuminga, but they have also been open to a sign-and trade. With that being said, fans are curious what the next step is to the situation. Kuminga has shown flashes of big-time potential. He has also had stretches where he has failed to make any kind of positive impact. Read more. Lakers get update regarding rumored trade target. A new report has shared what the Warriors' plans are regarding Kuminga. According to NBA insider Brett Siegel of Clutch Points, Golden State's current plan is to retain him with the intention of trading him ahead of the 2025-26 NBA trade deadline. In Kuminga's case, a return to the Warriors continues to be likely. Various high-ranking members of the organization would like Kuminga back, including owner Joe Lacob, sources said, Siegel wrote. Ultimately, the expectation from rival teams around the NBA is that Kuminga will go back to the Warriors with the mutual understanding that he will be moved before the trade deadline in February. That would be a bold move, but one that would make sense for both sides. Kuminga doesn't seem to have a great long-term outlook and fit with the Warriors. Getting the deal he's looking for and being traded elsewhere would be in the best interest for both parties. For Golden State, it would allow the franchise to recoup assets for Kuminga. He would be getting the kind of contract that he wants and then landing in a new situation. Read more. Heat received big Russell Westbrook prediction in NBA free agency during the 2024-25 NBA season with the Warriors. Kuminga played in 47 games and made 10 starts. He averaged 15.3 points, 4.6 rebounds, and 2.2 assists per game. Back in the 2023-24 campaign, he showed more of his full potential. In 74 games and 46 starts, he averaged 16.1 points per game to go along with 4.8 rebounds and 2.2 assists while shooting 52.9% from the floor and 32.1% from the three-point line. It will be interesting to see what the future holds for Kuminga and Golden State. This is the latest report on the situation, which would lead to an end of the tenure between the two sides. Insider names 2 players to watch for Warriors. The Golden State Warriors have a very clear 2-year window to compete for another NBA championship, as that timeline aligns with the expiration of the contracts of Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler. The trio has been vocal that this could be the final chapter of this era of the team, with head coach Steve Kerr's career also potentially aligning with the same timeline, so the goal is now to surround these future Hall of Famers with a few more supplementary pieces. Brett Siegel of Clutch Points recently shared that Seth Curry and Ben Simmons are 2 players to watch out for as potential signings for the Warriors. He also mentioned Malcolm Brogdon, Trey Lyles II, and a reunion with Gary Payton II as other options that have been brought up previously to round out the roster. Nobody aside from Curry, Butler, and Green makes more than $11 million on the roster, and there could be a little more breathing room under the salary cap if Jonathan Kuminga winds up elsewhere in a sign-and trade, which is looking increasingly more likely. Both Seth Curry and Ben Simmons would be interesting fits, as Seth would get to play with his brother for the first time and would provide some incredible outside shooting off the bench, while Simmons would project as an ideal backup for Draymond, given their similar skill sets. The Western Conference is absolutely brutal, and if the Warriors intend to avoid getting passed by, they need to be aggressive in filling out this roster with the right pieces around their stars.